It's a bit odd that the Samsung's foldable line now has slightly better CPUs than its S22 flagship line. But such is the world of silicon and smartphone timing. We are happy that the Galaxy Z Fold 4 has the Qualcomm's top-of-the-line Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1 CPU, as it needs all the power it can get given the multitasking gymnastics it's capable of. Geekbench 5 benchmarks bear out the new CPU's somewhat snappier performance compared to the 8th generation one. It's not a huge difference, but it feels to us that the phone's ability to edit 8K 60 FPS video at once in Adobe Premiere Rush speaks to that kick, and it doesn't hurt that the Samsung has backed up the chip with 12 GB of RAM. The raw numbers still don't beat Apple's A15 Bionic, but that's immaterial. There's more than enough power on tap here for all your cover and main screen tasks. Samsung does an excellent job of integrating its key One UI feature and apps into full experience, while still keeping this out of the way of the stock Android Google apps you really want. But we are particularly impressed with the effortless handoff between the cover screen and the main flexible display. The phone swaps screens instantly, so you can move the same app between the main and cover displays without waiting for it to reload. It can work like a normal phone with the cover screen, a tablet with the main screen, or something in between if you fold the screen to a 90-degree angle. The Galaxy Z Fold 4 knows if it's bent at a 90-degree angle, and if you are in an app like Word, puts the split keyboard on the bottom half of the display. It's not a perfect experience since the tapping in the crease is best avoided, but it works. It's not unlike using a very small Android laptop. The app dock not only lets you drag and drop apps and keep ones you use often in the dock, but it can remember app groups and let you instantly access and reopen them with a tap. Very smart. The Galaxy Z Fold 4 supports Samsung's S Pen, but not just any S Pen. When we tested the S22 Ultra S Pen and tapped it on the screen, the Z Fold 4 recognized it instantly, but then popped up a rather scary message that said you can only use S Pen specifically designed for the Z Fold screen. We did not have one of those lying around to test with. We spent a very busy day with Galaxy Z Fold 4, doing everything from video conference calls to word processing, playing games, editing video, watching Netflix shows, and sometimes doing all of these things at once. We also watched as the battery life drained, perhaps a little faster than expected. At 4400 mAh, this isn't a tiny battery, but it does have to do the work of powering two screens, though not simultaneously. The battery lasted approximately 13 hours, which is pretty good, though we would have liked to have seen more. Still, getting that far is probably a testament to the 8 Plus Generation 1's power management capabilities. The phone supports fast, wired and wireless charging, and at one point we added back 30% of power in just 15 minutes using a Samsung 65-watt grand charger, which is not included. The phone can also perform wireless power sharing duties. However, I could only get that to work with the Samsung Galaxy Buds 2 Pro case and not with the Galaxy S22. Let's not forget that this is a 5G phone. Our model was running on T-Mobile's network in the US, which has the pretty good 5G coverage, but the speed was as you would expect all over the map. Still, it was good enough to stream HD quality Netflix on my train ride home. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 is a 7.6-inch dynamic AMOLED display with 2176 x 1812 resolution, where the Z Fold 3 screen was 2208 x 1768 resolution. It's a nominal change that's mostly due to the updated chassis. It also supports an adaptive refresh rate of 1 to 120 Hz. The low end of the range is useful for saving battery life by not refreshing the screen when it's not needed, while the high end means smoother gameplay and video action. The defining feature of this screen is of course that it folds, and Samsung has done some re-engineering here. Under the strengthened ultra-thin flexible glass, Samsung has removed a metal plate which helps to make the phone thinner and lighter, and replaced it with a strong mesh. That's not stuff. What you can see and feel though is the crease. It shows up when the screen is dark, and if you run your finger across the screen you will feel it too. Generally, it's unnoticeable when watching video, but you might occasionally detect a slightly darker band running through your Netflix selection. There is a camera on this main display, but it's easily hidden by a tiny disk of pixels that the phone can turn on and off. When it's time to use the camera, the punch-out hole suddenly appears, highlighted by an illuminated ring like the crease. You usually won't even notice this little circle when it's not illuminated, but on some brighter images and scenes, it can be visible. Overall, this is still an excellent screen with all the real estate you need to do everything from taking pictures to putting the device in flex mode, basically bent into an L shape, which lets you use one half as a keyboard and the other as your screen laptop style. The cover screen has also gotten an upgrade. It's still a 6.2-inch dynamic AMOLED screen with a 2316 x 904 resolution compared to the Z Fold 3's 2268 x 832 resolution, but now it's 2.7mm wider than the cover screen on the Galaxy Z Fold 3. It also has an adaptive refresh rate, though in this case it's 48Hz to 120Hz. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, feel free to share it to friends and keep watching Best Buy to get your top-notch day-to-day commodities.